Well, good morning. As we close the doors to the sanctuary and prepare for our meditation time. My name is Mel Hirsch. I'm one of the licensed professional practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Prescott, Arizona. And if you're joining us here in the room or online or looking at us because somebody said go to the YouTube channel, you are just so very, very welcome here. We have a number of sayings, and my favorite one is love spoken here. So I invite you to take a couple of deep and gentle breaths. And just reflect for a moment on the significance of this season. It is a time when all faiths, all spiritual traditions stop to examine what Ernest Holmes called the golden thread that runs through each of them. And here at Centers for Spiritual Living, we are always reaching for those threads, examining them and pulling on them a little bit to see when a light is shined upon them, what new way or expanded way of thinking we may be inspired to look at. And out of that arose another one of our sayings: change your thinking, change your life. This is a philosophy of faith and a way of life. And what for many of us has continued to expand is that we become very much the same person operating in the same method and MO on Thursday as we would on the Sabbath day, with maybe just a couple of changes in language or jargon. What a lovely goal. So as we settle into this room, just think about the world out there, and it will do very nicely for the next few moments of what we call time. Let it just bump along without our participation. We can always go back to it, but when we come back to it, let us feel more centered. This is a time of year where yet again we are seeing change in the circle of life. as the sun makes its daily trip around us, except it no longer makes a daily trip around us. We make a daily trip around the sun. And as the seasons come and the seasons go, there is a time for reflection. So what I invite you to do as we examine this second day of winter after the solstice, what would you care to re-examine and see where perhaps an expanded view and the pulling of some golden thread shall open your willingness to be in community. Somewhere between the music, the meditation, and the message, we are here to receive ideas to ponder. So I invite you to close your eyes if they are not already, or just keep a gentle gaze and say, what in the issue of family you would like to see elevated? Take a moment to consider that. Perhaps it's the family of origin. Perhaps it's a family of choice. But envision how peace and joy, and especially love, can be expressed in the family you would create. As part of that creation, what is just one core value that you would love to see expressed there. And if by some chance you aren't yet sure, as we conclude our meditation time, I invite you to walk around and look out in the lobby and look up on the wall and see what values have been considered and are works in process within this beloved community. And maybe that will jog your awareness a bit. There are so many ways of expressing divinity, spirit, that which reflects elements of what one would happily embrace as a God. And as you look around and as you experience the rest of this morning, open to hearing something that will go, aha, I am going to pull on that thread today. So I invite you now to begin to bring your consciousness back into the room and rub your feet along the floor. Perhaps put your hand on your heart, because for so many of us, the heart is the center of the greatest thing we experienced here, and that is an ever-increasing understanding and expression of the word love. Gently open your eyes, look around the room, and look for love that radiates not only from your own being, but from a being of someone else in this room. Or if you are watching alone, look for love in the face of 2 or 3 others that you meet. Oh, there's one. And there. end there. I think we're done for now.
for sure. And boy, here we go. You can feel the bright lights coming down on me, the pressure. Clay doesn't care about me. He just... Just feel the pressure building. Hey, good morning, everybody. I don't know. I should probably have some nice little intro written out, you know. But I'm Jackson Roush, and I have the good fortune of playing music with you all today, which is just amazing. Merry Christmas to everyone in that spirit, and I guess in a way I'm being Santa Claus because I took requests this week, so I'm playing people's requests. Little birds would say, I'd like to hear this, so I was just like, okay. So today's songs are in that domain. Speaking of a gift, we have Sky Conwell back here today playing music today. And another gift. This is like Christmas coming a few days early because John Haas is our guest speaker today, and he's so... I'll tell him you said so. He's so good. If you don't know him, you are in for a treat, and I'm sure his talk will be nothing short of amazing. The only way I know that it's not Christmas yet is that Bob is not here today. He texted me last night saying he had something going on at his work, and he had to be there instead of here. So a quick for Bob. We love you, Bob, if you're watching on the interwebs. So Bob, at this point, I would say, Bob, boss him around, and he would go like this. Something like this. So we're going to do the Center for Spiritual Living Prescott Calisthenics. This song is an Eddie Watkins song. It is called, and this was a request. And I do, if there's a song you need to hear, like, man, I need this in my soul this week, feel free to drop me a line. This one is Eddie Watkins. Well, he might have, you are right. I'm sorry, I'm having a quick chit chat with a parishioner. Is that the term? I don't know. I feel like I'm in Lake Wobegon. Anyway, that is correct. Willie Nelson has that line in his song. So this is a different song. And Bob is probably glad he's not here because it has like 1 million words per measure. Eddie would be like, my grandma taught me to clap like this. It goes like this. We'll sing it together. Here we go. Run around fixing this and that, giving up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do the thing. You look like the weight of the world's on your back. Take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. It ain't change a thing if you want to. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do the thing. When the sun's gonna shine and the river's gonna flow, the tide's gonna rise without your say so. The universe is working and it's good and it's fun. You don't feel say that again. You know that. You get out of the way. You get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Well, that's woo. Get out of the way, but have
these people around.
have fun with the keyboard. There's a song.
These people need.
Yes, because this morning is an auspicious day, right? Did you notice the weather? It was not frozen. The sun is shining. Yesterday, I think it was 70 degrees out. As I wandered around in short sleeves playing in my garden, I said, is it ever going to get cold enough to plant the bulbs? Because they're very confused right now, trying to figure out what should we be doing. But I'm not going to dig them up, right? Eddie Watkins says, don't dig them up and find out if it's working. So whether you're here in the sanctuary or you're out in the great Netherlands at some other space and time, you're welcome here. Because today, December 22nd, the first full day of winter. And it feels like a wonderful winter here in Prescott, Arizona, indeed. And here at the Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, what we like to do is understand new tools that will make your life better. We heard about change your life, change your thinking, change your life. They go together. It's just like the seed in the plant. And if you want to have more of that goodness, then come and visit with one of the practitioners after service. They're wearing the purple stoles, and you can get a 3-minute miracle. That is, you can say, oh, here, I'm looking for this, or I'm wanting more of that. And by sitting with that practitioner, you can anchor that truth inside yourself and inside of consciousness, making it so. So today we're going to enjoy our time together. We've got some great music with Sky Daddy, anchored with Jackson. We had a great meditation this morning to remind us of whose we really are. So welcome to the service. And you're up.
Good morning. My name is, we got this? Yeah, we got this. My name is Mel Hirsch. I'm one of the professional licensed practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living. And you just got a real perfect example of what we do. We love to teach, and we love to pray, and we love to support, and we love to be with you. What a terrific time of year this is. You know, there's that golden thread that runs through all the various religious and spiritual teachings, and we love examining that. I know that we are about to embark on a little journey of recognition of how sweet it is in this friendly universe in which we're living. And that gets celebrated in so many different ways, which is why we honor every faith. So what I invite you to do at this moment is simply close your eyes or keep a steady gaze and realize that Spirit, God, whatever you choose to call it, is in this very room. And there is in this very room everything that we need for the increase of peace, power, acceptance, love. And that every single transition that we find ourselves in is made smoother by the recognition, both within and without, that that is our truth. And we have the insight and the power to apply it. And that power shall be increased in the next moments of what we call time. For that reality, I offer all of our full and loving thanks. Relax into what is going on here and anchor these words by saying, "And so it is."
Sing this with me.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know.
Be still and know. While looking for something that would be appropriate to the season, I was looking through the science of mind again. And this just seemed to resonate. See what you think. The title is An Abundance of Love. Spirituality is not just about religion or church attendance or fidelity to one or another legal requirement. Spirituality is understood to be an innate wisdom of the human heart that enlivens a zest for life, a search for meaning and purpose, a love for all that is good and beautiful, a passion to create a better world, a sensitivity to the life energy, God, if you will, or spirit, by whatever name you call it, that which permeates the entire cosmos. And from Ernest Holmes, life is self-perpetuating. Life is, and love is, the principle of life, for it is the nature of everything to give. Take a moment and let that sink in. Namaste. And now, if the candle lighters will come forward. I love this ritual, for it honors all paths. The Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, guided by the science of mind, acknowledges the diverse faiths and spiritual traditions that enrich our world. Each belief system offers a distinct understanding of the mysteries of existence and a unique connection with the divine. Lighting these candles symbolizes our collective reverence for the diverse paths humans take in search of meaning and purpose. In this shared moment, we affirm and celebrate the multiplicity of the human experience. We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. For Islam and its teaching and belief in the one and only God, creator of the heaven and the earth. For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with a covenant between Abraham and God. For Buddhism, that middle path of non-attachment that ends suffering. For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. For the traditions of indigenous people everywhere and their close and sacred connection to the earth, sky, and waters. For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace. For all the goddess traditions celebrating the power and wisdom of the feminine energies, including nature and nurture. And for the science of mind, a philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe and we can use it. And now will you join me in sharing the affirmation that you see on the screen? I am here for God. My purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything I do. The good I seek for myself is what I desire for all people everywhere. And so it is.
Thank you, Sky Daddy. Well, good morning. Well, it's a great day to be up here, be able to share a few thoughts that I had, because today, being the first full day of winter in this crazy winter fall we've had, that only had, it seems to me, just a couple of cold days. I measure it by the bird bath, whether there's ice on it or not, because they come up and peck on it, say, put some hot water on this. But we just experienced the longest night, and the nights ahead, we celebrate not so much because it's dark, but because we know that from now on, the days are going to get continuously longer until spring. And so that's what has caused people to celebrate the solstice all throughout history, and actually probably before it was history and written down. Because these seasons come and go, they're cyclic, we notice them, but the seasons in the external world can also be at odds with the seasons that are going on inside. And sometimes we can't tell. When we look at someone's face, do we know the seasons that they're going through? Perhaps some darkness that is upon them? Not always. And the Celtic tradition, when they looked at the way of the change of the seasons, they looked and they brought greenery into their homes where they were so that they'd be able to remember that spring is coming. Don't worry. Don't worry. You know, when I was putting this talk together, I was reminded of a song. Do you remember that old Simon and Garfunkel? Hello, darkness, my old friend. Because we have that darkness all the time and a light, and it's a question of where we're going to pay our attention, which one we're going to feed, which one we're going to notice and learn from, and which one we celebrate. And maybe we do both the dark and the light. And it's these dark times, those nights when it seems like the night is pretty long and I wake up maybe at 3:40, I'm going, isn't it time to get up yet? That my practices come in the most handy. Because then I can get up, maybe I can read something. I'm a writer, so I actually wind up writing down, scribbling on some blank paper, which I already have plenty of. And when I look at it, my mind, my body, and my soul oftentimes craves something a little bit different. Something that I can hold on to. Ernest Holmes said this. He says, the light of our being is the very essence of God within us. And I'm reminded, you know, he has that little book, this thing called You. And in it, he invites us to make it personal. Go first person. So how would we change this? We'd say, the light of my being is the very essence of God within me. How about we try that together? The light of my being is the very essence of God within me. So when I feel that, I ground in that, then I know there's nothing to worry about, no darkness, boogie-woogie that I have to be fearful of, because I have that essence, that light of God within me. So it's more effective, you notice, when we say it in first person. And so when we treat, that is the affirmative prayer, you're with the practitioner or you do it by yourself, bring it into that first person and you own it. It's mine. I am that light. I am that health. I am that goodness. And it's powerful because we're saying, I am. I am. So he says that all these treatments begin within, with me, with the inside, because I can't do anything about the world, but I can surely do a lot about myself. And if I start with that place, then the whole rest of it falls into place. But guess what? You can lose sight of it. I know none of you ever have. No. But I know that I've found myself forgetting forgetting, oh, right, yep. But we have this season a time when we can really notice the light because the nights are so long. So when that light does come in the morning, these days about like 7:30 in the morning, we go, all right, there's pink sky out there. It's a blue sky day. This is a great day to be alive. And I have this picture up here. Everyone probably knows this gal from the Olympics. But this year's theme was a grand rising. So a grand rising is all about taking where we are and celebrating, being happy for what we're doing, where we're going, despite any challenges in the outer world. We can have a grand rising. We've had it here in our own center as we have risen through various events. We had a big installation of our Reverend Tracy this fall. We have come to know more as she's become our senior minister. We've had all of the kinds of ups and downs that you can expect in life because life keeps coming. But you see, Simone Biles, after she's finished this grand performance that she's just had, she's triumphant, right? And today's talk is about landing it. We've been working on it all year, right? But now we're coming into the home stretch of 2024. How do we land it? How do we have that solid landing that prepares us for this next new year? So we want a strong landing so that we can move on to the next step. Now it's funny because we just see the triumph, right? You see the picture, psh, they've done it, or the person after the home run, they've done it. What we don't always see is the hours, the days, the weeks of practice, the many times they did fall, the times that they faltered, that they weren't quite so ready to make it happen. Well, we've experienced that in our own lives, right? You're trying to make things happen, you're doing your best, and you stub your toe. The other morning, I don't know what I did, but I woke up and I went, oh, Charlie horse, oh, you ever had that? And oh, and what I do then, I just stop and let's stretch that out. But if I didn't practice standing, they say we should practice standing on one foot and then practice standing on the other foot. It's all about balance. Then we can be prepared because practice doesn't just make perfect. We're already perfect. But practice makes progress. If we keep doing it, we get more comfortable with it, whatever the it is. And if you're like me, there's more than one it going on all the time. So we have to kind of play with what is in front of us. What's our most highest priority right now? What's your highest priority right now? To breathe, to be present, to bring joy into your life, to have something more than you had yesterday, more love, more grace, more peace, more beauty around you. So I'm planting bulbs for the spring, knowing that in the spring it's going to be great. But right now, I just have to, with the big old stick, make holes in the dirt, put stuff in, and hope the squirrels and badger don't find where I put the new ones. But as we practice, sometimes self-doubt comes up. Why am I doing this? I'm not that great. I'm never going to be able to do that. And where do we hear that? Is that our voice? Or is it someone else's voice that we've agreed with? Now, Ernest Holmes says, self-esteem is already ours. He says, let's waste no further time looking for the secret of success or the key to happiness. We've already got the key. He says, already the door is open, and whosoever will may enter. Well, that's good news, right? You don't have to go knocking. Well, where's my key? I don't think I brought a key. I didn't have a key. I'm not so sure about this. because the door is already open. It's already ours to have. So why don't we just go ahead and take it? What's the deal? What voice is telling us that we can't have it? When we think about a door being open, we can say, well, how can I help? Do I need help? Maybe I have not expressed my need for help. Because everyone says, oh, well, he's got it already. Nothing, he doesn't need any help. Everything's going great. But if I don't reach out and ask, then I don't give you the opportunity to give. If I don't admit that there's some things that could be better, or a chime that wants to be answered, how would I know? Because most of us don't have like the little sign on our forehead saying what we need. And in fact, a lot of times we were taught it isn't so cool to show off your vulnerability. But in fact, if you don't show that off, then other people around you are afraid. So I teach across the street at Embry-Riddle, and I always wonder, why aren't they asking questions? Because when I was a student, I was asking questions all the time. I'd ask questions that had nothing to do with the lesson. But I say, why aren't they asking? So I gave them an example. I thought I was the dumb one. I'd ask these questions. Oh, man, everyone else must really get it. Then the midterms came. It was good that I asked the questions because I understood it. Who cares about them, right? But if we can be that vulnerable self, then we invite others to show up the way they are, the way that they want to be that light. So I'm trying some new experiment. I'm working with student as partner, and one of the things that we have to do is we try and gather trust with our student partner, and then the student partner is supposed to help with the other students to try and give them that feeling that they can ask, that no question is a dumb question. Because I might have forgotten that I know a few things since I've been doing this life for a while, and they're fresh out, They're like sponges, but they might not know all the things, and I forget. And so I might jump right into the middle, and they're going, well, how did he get to this point? And the student helper will say, question, now how did you get from nothing to there? And I'll go, oh, thank you. And then I can explain the lead up to it. But if I didn't show myself as vulnerable and allow myself to be corrected, I'll never change. Because I think, well, I'm already perfect, right? So I'm just doing a great job. Too bad that they're not asking any questions. I guess they're getting it. And then the quiz comes. And why are they not getting these? So vulnerability knows no season. So if we can remember that and just allow ourselves to be at any time of the year, then more likely we'll have that Merry Christmas spirit year round. But what happens? Well, there's this part of us that we don't want people to see. That's why we might not like vulnerability. We call it the shadow side. The side of us that maybe we think, if they only knew the truth about me, well, they probably wouldn't be my friend. I don't know, they'd never talk to me again because you know what? I've made mistakes. I get colds. I say things that are hurtful sometimes. I do stupid things. And yet, I don't want anyone to catch that part. I want to keep that part hidden. But the shadow side comes out in the darkness. It might come out for you, I don't know when, but for me, about 3:23 a.m. And then it's going, making these little talking sounds. I'm trying to figure out whose voice that is. Go back to sleep, go back to sleep. So when we look out and we do the work to say, you know what? If I am part of that light, if I am that God within, then guess what? Shadow and light, good and wrong, right and wrong, there is a field out there beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. So what if we saw ourselves as that perfect, whole, and complete that we say we are? Then we wouldn't worry about slipping out a little bit of shadow here and there, because then we would say, it's okay, because this shadow side is just another side of me, and sometimes I have to embrace it, and sometimes I have to say, oh, forgive this one who just, burped. The virtual burp. So in this grand rising we've had this year, there's been a grand rising for more growth. And embracing our shadow side, the darkness, knowing that light is coming, light is on its way, and I can have both dark and light and be that complete person. Because it's the complete person that can be open for joy. I don't have to hide things. So Psalm 119 speaks of this. It says, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. So we say that words are powerful. When we speak our treatments, we speak them in the affirmative, already here tone, present tense. So that powerful word lights our way. And so we say, I am perfect, whole, and complete. Then that statement lights the way forward, because now the path is clear. I'm already saying it's already good. So how can it be otherwise? It's a great reminder, especially at this time of year. And so any depression or sadness, any of that, we don't have to worry about it, because after all, no dam can hold back the river from eventually flowing to the sea. So our light can't be held back by any little instance of darkness or anything that we say, oh, I don't know if that should have happened. Because it's all part of the whole. And we live in a marvelous time, don't you think? Yes. So this picture that's here is from space. This is the International Space Station. They're watching the sunrise coming up over the East Coast. And you see the shadow still over the middle part of the country and the West Coast. And in space, they get to watch the sunrise and sunset 10 times a day. Here on Earth, we have to wait the whole day round for that. And here in the Northern Hemisphere, of course, it's a longer time at night. My sister just went to New Zealand, and it'll be summer solstice for them. So the longest day for them that they get to experience down under. So this light of the new year is a remarkable thing that we can see and we can experience virtually. And did you see recently they had a Zoom from space, and they were able to give a little conference from up there, and not too much of a delay. They're only a few hundred miles up after all, and light travels pretty quick, right? So although we can't ignore the darkness, we don't have to huddle around an old fire to keep ourselves warm and to keep the coyotes away. I was sitting in my backyard yesterday, and one comes loping along up the walking path right up by the top of my backyard. And I said, "Hey, coyote." And he went, "What?" He says, "How did he know my name?" But Ernest Holmes said it well. He said, refuse to dwell in darkness. Refuse to dwell in darkness of unbelief. Instead, boldly step through the places of doubt and plant your feet on the solid rock of faith. Plant your feet on the solid rock of faith. So faith in the good, faith in your friends, family, faith in the fact that the sun's going to rise tomorrow, faith in this center, faith in light. By having these faiths, then we can be on solid ground. And it's all about choice, right? Because if we place our energy in faith, then we know, just like planting the bulb, it's going to come up in the spring. And maybe I'll have to water it because we haven't had any rain. But snow and rain will come, and if not, I'll just go out and give it a little extra. But I, as a gardener, choose which to plant. Now, I'm a daffodil person, so I'm going to plant another 50 daffodils. And this year I went to also some paper whites, so that I have a variety up there. And then I've already got irises, which I'm splitting this year, so it's a big year. And then some of them I'm going to pull out. Some of them I'm going to weed away, and I'm pruning back wisteria, because, man, it grows. Got to watch out. So I choose which to nurture and which to throw back into the compost to make soil for the other ones that I want to happen. So the same thing we have to choose. We have to choose which part we want. So in this next little one, you can see, bang. So she comes running up, bang, sticks the landing. So just think about that for us as we look at this next idea, because you can watch this over and over and over. It just keeps going. And you say, how does she do that? But we can recap and just remember, in this new year, I am the light. So we can take that with us. In this new year, I am the light. Through seasons, through ups, through downs, daily, hourly, every moment, we can say, I am the light. I am the light. So it doesn't matter how long you've forgotten. It doesn't matter how long you've been asleep. What matters is that we're waking up to the remembrance and the knowing that I am the light. Let's take that into prayer. Just recognize with me that power, that presence, that light that is everywhere. It's here in this room. It's here in the breath that breathes us. It's in the sound of the waterfall behind us, the music that comes to our ears. There is no place, no time where this power, this presence, this light fails to be. So that means that we can take advantage of it. That means it's with me, with you, with us at every moment, at every time, in every place. And if that's the case, then I know that this new year is the best year yet. And it's a year to really live, to really take hold, because I am the light. You are the light. We are the light together. I am so grateful for the knowing of this teaching, and I give great thanks for this time, this light, this presence. And I just let go and let God. And we can anchor that by saying, and so it is.
Said we are the light, right? Well, and then here comes the sun.
darling, I feel the ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. It's alright. It's alright.
So this is the time where we appreciate the light. We appreciate the good that comes from the center. And so if the ushers will come up, we have for us, we say an affirmation about how good it is to be part of this spiritual community. We say, divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. And thank Sky. Sky's going to come back with some groovy tunes. Oh, with an accompaniment by Jackson.
Give me a word, give me a sign, show me where to look, tell me what will I find, will I find. So lay me on the ground and fly me in the sky, show me where to look, tell me what will I find, will I find. Yep. Is in the water, love is in the air. Show me where to look and tell me will love be there. Will love be there. So teach me how to speak, teach me how to share. Teach me where to go, tell me will love be there. Will love be there. Yeah. Yep. Heaven, let your light shine down. Heaven, let your light shine down. Heaven, let your light shine down. Heaven, let your light shine down.
And what we know is that our abundance, our prosperity, our financial good does not depend on anything other than the source, the one, the power that is our abundance. And we live it, we know it, and we thank for it. So together we just ground that by saying, We are abundant. And so it is. Thank you. And Kathleen's going to tell us a story.
Thank you, Jackson. Good morning. Welcome to everyone, along with those of you who are first-timers today, or you've been away for a while. If you're a first-timer, we'd like you to stand and tell us your name if you're comfortable. Yes? No? I guess it's no. Next Sunday is the last Sunday of the month, and therefore Salad Sunday. So bring a salad and enjoy others. Please note that the office will be closed all of this week. World Peace Meditation and Prayer Day is New Year's Eve Day, December the 31st at 5 a.m. here at CSLP. If you're an early riser and wish to join us, please do so. I'm going to try it for the first time. Whew. I guess that means getting up about 3 to get here by 5.
No.
No?
You get up at 4:50 to get here by 5. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you don't have the makeup and the hair and clothes and all that.
I know, takes no work. It's amazing. Can I say something about this real quick, actually?
Certainly.
Because I have to connect this to Karen and Richard Rader. They're the ones that, as far as I know, really pushed for this and got me to come in and play a few times. And I will say this about this, and if you don't know Karen and Richard, I don't really have the time to say how amazing they are and were to this place. But they kind of spearheaded this effort, and it's at 5 a.m. because every time zone does it at the same time, and ours was 5 a.m., which I guess arguably is better than 4 a.m., and 9 a.m. would have been better, but hey, it's when it happens. So everyone in every time zone is doing it at the same time is the point. And I will say from my experience of doing it, the payoff for making the effort, I think you will find that the payoff is incredible. That's all I'll say on that.
And we join Unity so that some of them come here this year and participate. Next year, some of us will go to Unity. I have a prayer partner in Boston, and her time is 8 a.m., and I got a little envious. The Conscious Giving program for 2024 is December the 31st. So if you have not made a decision to be a part of this important CSL program, make that decision today. And I think we are ready for no children. Okay, no children. Thank you and Merry Christmas.
We have our time to say our blessing on the way out. Stand up, hold hands, and we'll sing our way into the future. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life.